Okay, in this video tutorial we're going to look at creating normal map and ambient occlusion map by transferring the information from a high poly model to a low poly model. So here I have both my models. This is a low poly and a high poly. First of all, what I'm going to do is just smooth the normals on this. So just mesh display, soften the edges. Okay, I'll bring this over. So this is directly underneath our low poly mesh. And then we'll just select the low poly mesh. Now I'm just going to change over to the rendering module and go into our lighting and shading and into the transfer maps options. Going to remove all my maps. I'm just going to reset the settings on this. So what we're going to do is create a normal map and also create an ambient occlusion map. With a normal map, I'm just going to go in and set up where this is going to save. We'll just call this handle a normal. I'm going to set this to be TIFF. Okay. I'll leave this at tangent space. Leave all the settings as they are. The ambient occlusion map, same thing. Just going to go in. Just going to call this handle AO. Again, I'll just set this to be a TIFF. Where are you? Okay. I'm going to use the optimization for multiple objects. Sometimes you find that the normal map, the seams, are displayed when you bake out the textures. So this is just a bit of a fix for that. Even though it's not multiple objects, it can sometimes help. Again, I'm going to leave all the settings as they are, as the defaults. Now we are using two different maps here. We're using the mental ray and we're using the Maya common settings. So I just need to come down here, Maya common settings. I'm going to set this just to a 1K map for now, just for speed. We've got aspect ratio clicked on, so it's going to keep those as they are. I'm going to leave the quality quite low, so the sample's low, the sampling quality quite low for now. Again, if you want to, you can improve that, boost up the quality afterwards. So, the other thing we need to do, and the main thing, is we need to tell it what high-res mesh it's going to be using. So I'm just going to click on our other mesh and add selected into there. You can add more than one mesh into this, by the way. We could use multiple high-res meshes. The main thing is that in our low poly shape, if we just go up to display and envelope, we need to make sure that the envelope is encompassing all of the high-res meshes. So I've set this previously. You can see if I bring this down, see it's sticking out. So I know that this is around 2.9. You can just play around with the settings for your particular model. Okay. Now that that is all done, should we get everything in? This connect output maps, I am connecting this into a shader. Now you don't need to if you don't want to. What I will do, if I just uncheck this, it will just save out the textures in the location that you save them at, and then you can bring them in manually. Just for speed again, I will connect maps to shaders, and this will just create a new shader. There we go. And it will apply the textures to that and plug them into the right channels. So with that said, we can just bake and close. And what I will do here is just pause the video until we've got the maps finished. Okay, and that's finished. Took a little while. Let's just move this high-res model out of the way. So now you can see we have our low-res model with this texture actually baked on. We'll just go into the hypershade. Bring this over from my other monitor. And we'll just middle mouse drag this new texture down. So this is, bake this onto a Lambert texture. Just show the input connections. So here we have our normal map going through a bump 2D node, just with the tangent space normals clicked on. And we have our AO map going into the diffuse channel on this as well. So this means that we can still go in, and if we wanted to, we could still change the color of this object. Okay, and it leaves that ambient occlusion map underneath there. If I just let's go into the hypershade again, just to show you that the normal map is switched on. You can kind of see it on this view, but let's just delete the AO map for a second. See that without the ambient occlusion we still have our normals on there. And if we was to take a light, let's just create a point light. Press 7 to put our lights on. You can see in there that we're getting the light information showing off the normal map. So obviously it's not as enhanced as the high-res version, but we do have some of that detail on our low-res model. And as you can see, this is still very much a low-res model. No detail added to that apart from in the texture. So that is breaking down just ambient occlusion maps and normal maps from a high-res model onto a low-res model. And that's the end of this tutorial.